You are tuned to the hottest indie music source in the entire world. This is Indie Originals Live, IOL. With your host, legendary DJ and performance artist, Chuck Fresh. You too can hear your own original music here on IOL. Visit our website for details, indieoriginals.com, or swing by our Facebook page at Indie Originals. Hey, welcome to Indie Originals Live, episode number, what are we at, 14 now?
Is that even possible?
Felicia,
Seriously?
I've never done anything 14 times in a row. Nothing.
That's actually a true statement.
It is a true. You would know that too.
I would.
My name is Chuck Fresh, and you are?
Felicia B.
What's up, Felicia? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm feeling rested and relaxed.
Yeah, you had a nice little vacation, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Mm-hmm. Where'd you go?
Eastern Caribbean.
Eastern Caribbean, looking for all new original music, right?
That's right.
For the upcoming Indie Originals Live Music and Talent Competition.
Woohoo!
Hey, let me tell you about this. This is very important. If you're an indie musician or if you know somebody who's an indie musician, we're looking for original artists. Do we have a cover category? You know, that's a really good question, and we might want to consider doing that. We're still putting this thing together. The final touches on what we call the Indie Originals Talent Competition, the Indie Originals Live Talent Competition. You can learn more about it right now. Follow along with us at www.indieoriginalslive.com. You can get there on indieoriginals.com too, right? Yeah, either one of those websites, Indie Originals Live or indieoriginals.com. Find out more information about this upcoming music and talent competition. It's not just music. It's films. There's a section for literature and authors, for poets, for actually we just added something called lookalikes. And it's going to be great because I don't think anybody's ever had a global lookalike contest before. For celebrity lookalikes?
I don't think so. I haven't heard that.
We're going to have sections for sound-alikes, too. And we found this guy who looks, you know what I'm talking about, looks and almost, I mean, you'd swear it's Tom Cruise. It really was. I'm not sure where he's from or what his story is, but we will find out. And we'll interview him. We actually used him for another one of our projects. And, man, he looks and doesn't he?
He does.
Look and sound like Tom.
Yes, he does.
I mean, he's a doppelganger, man. Craziest thing I've ever seen. So a lot of exciting things going on. But what we're going to talk about on this show is music because we are an indie artist music show. So if you are an indie artist and you're listening for your song here, you definitely want to enter this competition. The official competition starts on January 1st, runs through, I think, March 31st. We may extend it through April 15th. We're still talking about that. And we will have early admissions happening sometime in the middle of December 2018. I don't know when you're listening to this. It could be already running. So if you're hearing this later on, you definitely want to jump in there and check that website at www.indieoriginalslive.com and find out because there'll be tremendous prizes. Plus, this is the first year of this competition. So anybody who enters is going to have a really outstanding chance of winning some sort of award. And then you can call yourself an award-winning band with award-winning songs. And you can use that in your marketing campaigns. And it's a legitimate award. We have trophies and the whole thing. You should see some of the stuff we come up with here. And then there'll be a big final ceremony, which is happening June 15th, 2019 in Central Florida near Orlando. And we've already booked the place. We've got the plans all set up for this thing. It's going to rival the Grammy Awards and the CMTs. It's going to be the coolest awards ceremony event that you've ever seen. It's on a much smaller scale, obviously, but it's going to be amazing. Our entries fees are going to be much lower than the competing music competitions too. So, and we're going to give you a lot more bang for your buck. And I'm going to say almost all the musicians who enter into the Indie Originals music competition will be featured on a version of this program. We'll have several Indie Original podcasts, and this radio program, which you're hearing on 15 different radio stations all across the U.S. It's growing all the time. And, of course, the podcast, which is carried on Spotify and iTunes and YouTube and virtually everywhere else in the world. So a tremendous amount of exposure. Check it out for more information than I can tell you right now in 60 minutes at www.indieoriginalslive.com. I'm super psyched. I'll be one of the hosts of the competition, too. And I will be one of the judges, so you have to be really nice to me. Right, Felicia?
That's right.
Are you going to enter this contest, Felicia? I know you have a band.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. All right, never mind. All right, let's kick back to some music. We'll tell you a little bit more about the competition later on in the program. So keep your ears peeled and listen up. Really good. I'm telling you, you're going to be as excited about this competition as I am. It's the coolest thing we've ever done. What's going on? What are we playing tonight?
All right, so we've got Central Florida's SJ, who has earned over 24 Independent Artist Music Awards and nominations, including a nomination as a Discovery of the Year by, check this out, Sirius XM, The Coffee House in 2011.
Wow, big deal. That's cool.
It is. His music has been licensed for TV and films throughout the world. SJ has a cool sound that sort of blends folk, alternative, and acoustic rock with hints of Americana. SJ's singer-songwriter creations feature a soulful groove and relatable maturity.
There's something we're lacking on this program. Maturity? Well, on this side of the booth.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, right.
SJ's long-awaited EP, Nikki, was just released, and IOL is proud to air its world premiere.
World premiere.
Nikki,
I'm going to say that through the whole song.
Okay, I want you to.
You think SJ will have a problem with that?
Maybe.
Yeah, he might.
Nikki is SJ's first original release since 2013 when he took a break from the road, settled down, and started a family.
Wow, there's maturity.
Just like life, it represents a natural evolution in lyrical content and vocal performance, and is sort of an ode to family and the love that guides us through the cycle of life. Here's track 1 off Nikki. It's called The Shadows by SJ on IOL.
This wind, breathing in. Stay close and listen to the frequencies that rub against our skin. Tell us we are missing those cold nights in Colorado, just gazing at how quiet snowfall. September in Vermont, where leaves speak to us in their psychedelic font. Hard lives and silly things, so we can wear the cost of living a dream. But most of all, the secrets we leave in the shadows. While we sit tight now and think of how we might get a little stronger, last a few more rounds, pound for pound, see again what matters. Warm smiles to know how, with hugs to give us strength to keep going. Get lost in the hills on purpose, taking the perfect air while it still has us. New York City streets anew, that chill when the Armani girls fixed you up in that dress and high heels. But most of all, the secrets we leave in the shadows. Again, this time a bit softer, 'cause when quiet screams life gets louder. We'll take a few steps back, skip over the cracks, and see the best times we're always together. Like long nights with friends in Miami, trying hard to find a little passing through so we don't forget who we were. Heart cries when it hurts to see people we have to let go to keep believing. But most of all, the secrets we leave in the shadows, in the shadows, in the shadows.
This is IOL.
Collaborating across multiple genres, ranging from roots rock and pop to hip-hop and EDM, electronic dance music, classifying Daphne-Willis is no easy task, people. Raised in Chicago, Daphne now calls, guess where, Felicia? Nashville home, and cites influences as varied as Elvis Costello and Michael Jackson. Daphne's been spreading her music an infectious personality and caught the ears of Sony ATV Music Publishing, who signed Daphne to a worldwide publishing agreement. She's still an indie artist, but she has a publishing contract, so she just kind of squeaks in here. But we dig her. This partnership has resulted in several of her songs being recorded by other artists and used in commercials, film, and TV productions, such as One Tree Hill, Empire, and a Microsoft ad campaign. And check this out. This is kind of a cool collaboration where most artists put themselves in a box. Sonia-Leigh maintains an individuality that's so liberating and extends beyond any genre and ventures into a new world of self-expression. From her country upbringing to her rebellious city lifestyle, changes have always been a catalyst for creativity. With past successes writing songs for, get this, Zac Brown Band, and touring across the world with country rockers like Eric Church, and performing with legends like Melissa Etheridge, Sonia-Leigh's most recent project experiments with new sounds and a never-changing narrative on the human experience. So one day, check this out, Daphne and Sonia were in L.A. writing something. They took a break, and they were just outside shooting the shiz, and Sonia bent down to pick up something, and she can remember as clear as day, Daphne said, "Watch out, man, there's a spider in the roses." They kind of froze. It was one of those movie moments. They froze and looked at each other and just laughed, and they started making up lyrics right there. Sometimes songs just write themselves, Felicia. The song of my life is being written right now, sitting across here from you. They went back to L.A. and recorded Spider in the Roses with Nick Furlong, Colin Britton, and Carmen Vandenberg from the UK band Bones. And it just was magic. I mean, check it out for yourself. Here's Sonia-Leigh and Daphne-Willis with Spider in the Roses on IOL.
She comes creeping like a storm in the middle of July and crawls to the corner of your mind. Her scent will draw you in to the sweetness of a smile. You'll be chained by the weight there in her eyes. Oh, you best just walk on by. Don't get too close that garden she's ruined. Yeah, there's a spider in the roses. She's so beautiful, yeah, she knows it. But there's a spider in the roses. She loves you not as the petals peel away. One by one she's watching as you pray. Manipulates the rules, knows every move there is to make. Yeah, she's the creator of the game. And by the time you realize it, it's too late. Don't get too close to that garden that she's running. Yeah, there's a spider in the roses. She's so beautiful. There's a spider in the roses. to that garden that she's growing. There's a spider in the roses. She's so beautiful, yeah, she knows it. There's a spider in the roses. Oh, yeah, there's a spider in the roses. Yeah, there's a spider in the roses.
You are tuned to the hottest indie music source in the entire world. This is Indie Originals Live. I-O-L. With your host, legendary DJ and performance artist, Chuck Fresh.
The demos create a brand of power pop all their own. Lyric-centered and heavy on harmonies, their new EP, If You Only Knew, is a lush collection of reflections on love, the possible, present, and past. The album weaves through a maze of guitars and synthesizers, tough word for me, that propel their songs forward into a state of nostalgia. The five-piece from upstate New York worked with their producer, Joywave frontman Daniel Armbruster, for the 4-song EP, which is now available. But this next song shines like the sun. Can you say instant hit? There's a book by Kurt Vonnegut called Slapstick. Its subtitle is Lonesome No More, and that's the song that's up next. It's a little more EDM feel than a typical The Demo song, but it just simply works. Here are the demos with Lonesome No More on IOL.
Another serenade, another song for sunshine. Is it a passing phase? Another stupid song rhyme. I could see forever when I'm with you. It's all I really need, yeah. Always drawn together, you know it's true. You're all I really need, so hold on, darling.
This is Freeman, and I wanted to make sure that you tell everyone you know that they should be listening to this radio program. Indie Originals Live is the finest radio program in the history of radio. And I know these things. I've been around a long time. I'm about 120 years old. That's a true story. Look, when I was at the height of my movie career, Chuck Fresh was already picking the best music in the world. I have a lot of faith in this guy, and you should too. This is Indie Originals Live, featuring Chuck Fresh and Felicia.
Hannah-Trigwell is a self-taught singer-songwriter from England. Hannah began her career busking, there's that word again, on her hometown streets of Leeds, which is in England, I guess. I've never been to England. I'm going to have to check it out. Before being encouraged to upload her music onto YouTube. Having garnered over 120 million views, 2 number 1 singles in Laos and Vietnam, and more than 600,000 total followers online, Hannah-Trigwell's journey has an exciting path ahead for sure. During her biology studies at the University of Leeds, Hannah released 2 EPs of original music. That's during her studies, Felicia. And toured the UK and Europe 3 times. During the same year as achieving a biology honors degree, Hannah also won Best Unsigned Artist in the Online Music Awards. I wonder if they're similar to the Indie Originals Live Music Awards.
I wonder.
I think ours are even cooler. They have to be. There's nobody can touch us. She needs to enter this. Hannah, you need to enter our contest. More recently, Hannah performed in front of sold-out crowds alongside Jess Glynn, Jake Bugg, Boyce Avenue, and many more. Her glowing celebrity fan base includes Louis Tomlinson and Ed Sheeran.
Impressive.
Yeah, right? Hannah was tipped as one to watch by national publications and was introduced as the people's pop star when featured on ITV's Lorraine. I guess that's an English TV show?
I don't know. Not heard of that one.
We're here in America. We don't know what's going on. Hannah was handpicked to support Walk Off the Earth Tour, the Walk Off the Earth Tour in France. I think they're sending her up in a shuttle. Hope she's not really walking off. She's got too much to do here. But the final show, a packed-out Brixton O2 Academy in London. Hannah's debut album, Red, is out now and available everywhere, so check it out. It's an intensely cool sound. Check out Another Beautiful Mistake by Hannah-Trigwell on IOL.
I'm half caught, going out of my mind, tearing up, crashing the life that I drive. Since you disappeared out of my sight, no last goodbye. I'm out of luck, guess I should leave this behind, but I can't stop feeling we were meant to collide. Since you up and left, I realized you had me blind. I swear you're gonna feel the repercussions. Don't you wanna taste nice, sweet revenge? You're gonna watch me make another beautiful mistake. You're gonna watch me make another beautiful mistake. I'm half cut, going out of my mind, but you know say I'm half cut, going out of my mind. But you know what? I kinda like it when you do. You're gonna watch me make another beautiful mistake. Another beautiful mistake. Another beautiful mistake.
Don't tell me you didn't feel a thing.
Another beautiful mistake.
You found it. The hottest source for all new original music you haven't heard anywhere else. This is Indie Originals Live, IOL, with your host Chuck Fresh. We'll be back with more killer tunes right after these short words.
Hey, Indie Originals Live, the show you're listening to, it's a radio show and podcast that broadcasts on 11 radio, actually 15 radio stations across the U.S., featuring the most amazing hand-picked indie music on earth. Our podcast spans the globe. We're heard everywhere from Alaska to Australia. So the response to the show has been phenomenal. We want to thank you, our listeners, and the artists who make it possible. And our friends and fans suggested another way to help indie artists gain the recognition they deserve. So we created the Indie Originals Live Music, Film, and Talent Competition. We want to help artists become recognized for their talent rather than their fans, followers, or funding. You know what I mean? If you've written a classic song, but you only have 17 Facebook fans, we don't care. You could still win first prize in the Indie Originals Live Music category. If you filmed the most beautiful movie in history, but you only have 47 YouTube views, so what? You could bring home first place in the Indie Originals Live Film Competition. It's totally fair, it's objective, and this thing is global, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have a regional ceremony here in Orlando, Florida, each year. First one will be in June 2019 in Orlando. Second year, I think in 2020, might be Philadelphia or somewhere up in the Northeast. We'll kind of move it all around the country as we go along. But what's really cool is we'll also have awards for the region's independent artists, independent filmmakers, independent musicians. So for our Orlando competition, we'll also name the national winners, but we'll also name Orlando and Central Florida's greatest bands and filmmakers and artists and authors and et cetera. So it's like kind of a 2-in-1. And this has really never been done before. So it's one of the coolest things we've ever put together. So you can learn more about this contest. It's indieoriginalslive.com. Most of the music that gets entered into this contest will appear on one of our Indie Original channels. We will play the best of the best on this program. So you could hear your song in front of a nationwide audience on the airwaves and also in front of a global audience on the podcast. So it's really a tremendous amount of exposure, much more than any other competition is going to give you. Playing field leveled, you know what I mean? So we're going to help you move your music and your film and your books and your creativity to the next level. And that's what we aim to do. And you need to get started. Entries begin coming in here on January 1st, 2019. So get your best stuff ready and submit to this amazing contest right now. What a great way to showcase your talent. www.indieoriginalslive.com. You can get there from the podcast website too. www.indieoriginals.com if you want to type those extra L-I-V-E. That's www.indieoriginalslive.com. The contest of the century. We want to see your face in the place. Thank you.
You are tuned to the hottest indie music source in the entire world. This is Indie Originals Live. IOL. With your host, legendary DJ and performance artist, Chuck Fresh. Indie Originals. Replay.
All right, it's that time in the show where we do a replay of last week's music on our favorite picks. This week's, my favorite pick is Sarah Ann Darling, who is an American country music singer and songwriter from Nashville.
Yeah, guess it.
Sarah was a top 3 finalist on E! Entertainment Television's reality show, The Entertainer, which was hosted by Wayne Newton.
Dankeschön. I had to do that. You have to. Anytime you hear that name.
You got it.
It's like Niagara Falls. All right, go ahead.
Sarah Darling will take you on a whimsical ride with songs about stars and when cowboys used to ride away into the sunset. She calls her sound Dream Country. Sarah Darling has released several albums with close to 1 million downloads worldwide and 2 #1 videos on CMT and GAC. Her greatest hit, Home to Me, led to performance on Conan O'Brien, Fox and Friends, and opening for artists like Carrie Underwood and Casey Musgraves. Sarah's dream of playing the Grand Ole Opry came true in 2011. She has been there, check this out, over 80 times.
It's no big deal, right? Take Grand Ole Opry? Yeah, forget it.
Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. Her latest album, Dream Country, features this standout single called Haley's Comet. Check it out. Here's Sarah Darling on IOL.
At the sky, he said, it's going by, he said, Haley's Comet won't be back for years. A spinning world, I was a little girl, I was sure and honest, hadn't tasted fear. What was it about that time that keeps me staring at the sky, hoping someday I would find in the mystery there's a place for me to shine. Chase the dream, he said, you were born to sing, he said. So I stepped out on that darkest stage. When the lights hit me, fire hot lit me. In the spotlight, a star was made. What was it about that time that keeps me hanging on the line, hoping someday I would find in the mystery there's a place for me to shine, to shine, to shine, to shine. Spark and burn, I will wait my turn, I will trust the gravity, trust the light. In the middle of the night, I'll be staring at the sky, hoping someday I would find in the mystery, waiting patiently, there's a place for me to shine.
Originals. Replay.
Los Angeles, New York Quartet Braves. Our childhood best friends, Ryan Colt Levy and Derek Tremont, having experimented with a wide range of styles and sounds over the years, it wasn't until the addition of some bro named Thomas Killian McPhillips VII. I think he's a king. In late 2012, the things fell into place and Braves was born. From there, the music grew organically into its own blend of soulful indie rock and pop that it is today. They're now joined by LA born and raised singer-guitarist Scott Goldbaum, whose beautiful textured vocal sound and dynamic guitar playing has elevated them to uncharted territory that they're just beginning to explore, man. And you'll hear it for yourself. Looking forward to the challenge of spreading their New York charm to the West Coast, their journey has brought them to LA, where the band finds themselves in a place they've been working toward their whole career, Felicia. You just end up in L.A., and these guys are going to make it. With a whole slew of buzz behind them, including Indie Originals Live, and we're probably the biggest single push. They're going to be a big deal because of us. They know this. Braves are releasing new singles helmed by collaborator and producer Grayson Sanders. And this next song is gorgeous. Check out Bitter Sea. This is my IOL replay of the week by the band called Braves on IOL.
On trial.
Hey all, Big J in the house. The Lord has a special place in his heart for indie music. That's why he hath bestowed upon thee Indie Originals Live, the award-winning #1 podcast for indie music. He and I have blessed that Felicia and her sidekick, Chuck Fresh, with the gift of recognition. These fine souls have the unique gift of being able to choose the most amazing indie music on earth. It's biblical, man. Look, don't take my word for it. Listen for yourself. Indie Originals Live, available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, iHeart, and everywhere great podcasts are heard. Thanks, y'all. Bless you. Jesus out.
Central Florida. It's Indie Originals Live with your hosts, Felicia and Fresh. Tonight's musical guests, a bunch of incredibly talented indie artists you may not have heard of before, but who will most likely be tomorrow's biggest stars.
Heather-Rayleen says most of her memories of childhood involve music in some way or another. As soon as she was talking, she was singing and performing at churches. She was performing at rodeos and talent shows as early as age 6. And at age 11, she started learning to play violin in the school orchestra and continued through high school playing in the symphony. She quickly excelled and earned herself a scholarship to the School of Music at Sam Houston State University. Where in the Sam hell is Sam Houston?
Felicia didn't write that.
No, I didn't.
No, I did. I'm sorry.
Sorry,
Heather. She just had to say it. Do they say Sam Helen Houston?
I don't know the answer to that.
Who's Sam Houston? Is that in Texas? I'm not really sure.
I don't really know.
All right, Heather, call us.
She broadened her influences of music and was invited to play, check it out, fiddle with the Scooter Brown Band. Heather was inspired to start writing her own music, so she borrowed her dad's old guitar and started teaching herself how to play. Heather enjoys all genres in music and has a hard time pinpointing her exact influences. Heather hopes to share the feeling that she gets in the pit of her stomach when she hears a great song. Her roots will always be country, but she tries to bring together a little bit of blues, rock, folk, and sometimes pop every time she performs. Check out Man Up by Heather-Rayleen on IOL.
Drinking your chances away, baby, with your whiskey words. Are you ever gonna learn? I am not that girl. Boy, I'm bound to get burned. You better man up. If you wanna be with me, you better man up. Boy, don't play with me, 'cause I'm not the kind of girl that falls for anything. You gotta sweep me off my feet if you wanna get down. You better man up if you wanna be with me. You better man up, boy, don't play with me, 'cause I'm not the kind of girl that falls for anything. Believe me when I say I'm the right kind of crazy. Yeah.
Brightline are a Manchester-based indie pop band. There's a lot of talent in Manchester, Felicia.
There is.
Did you live anywhere near Manchester?
I lived about 30 minutes outside of Oxford.
Is that near Manchester?
I can't answer that question.
I don't know either, man.
That was a long time
I don't
ago.
know where Manchester is. I think that we're going to have to go to Manchester.
Let's do it.
Maybe we should do a live broadcast from Manchester.
Maybe after Philly, we should do
Indie Originals
Manchester.
Live
Yes.
2021 in Manchester. We are global.
We so should do
Manchester,
that.
we're coming, man. What's the Manchester United? Never mind. Who's their competition? We should wear their jersey. No, you get beat up in England if you wear the wrong jersey, man. They're serious about their soccer. Their football, I'm sorry. Think feel-good music, catchy melodies driven by synths and guitars, and then add a bit of beatboxing, and you've got Brightline. Hailing from 5 different parts of the world, that's Portugal, Mexico, Wales, Kent, and Preston. The band started in September 2013 after all 5 members completed Message Academy, a training year in youth work and evangelism run by award-winning youth charity, the Message Trust. Brightline has been visiting schools all across the UK and beyond for the last few years, delivering lessons, assemblies, and workshops to young people of all ages, as well as gigging throughout the UK and Europe. Brightline's mission is to bring a message of hope and life to a hurting world. And man, we need that message more than ever, right?
Do.
And check his song out. If you close your eyes, you might think you're listening to a new hit by Katy Perry. It's that good, man. Check out Crazy by Brightline on IOL.
Black hair, ripped jeans, dressed up like an 80s fashion magazine, like on TV, living like it was the perfect teenage dream. Ever since I saw your face, everything that I have fades away. This is love, it's no mistake. Oh, 'cause they think I'm going crazy. It's alright, it's alright. They can see your love has changed me. It's alright, it's alright. My life on screen. Take a look at me now, tell me what you see. I know I'm running free. This is more than just some crazy, stupid fantasy. Ever since I saw your face, everything that I have fades away. This is love, it's no mistake. Oh, 'cause they think I'm going crazy. It's alright, it's alright. They can see your love has changed me. It's alright, it's alright. They say I've lost my mind, that I've lost my way. Now I'm seeing the light, it's a brighter day. 'Cause they think I'm going crazy. It's alright, it's alright. It's Cause they think I'm going crazy. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright with me. They can see your love has changed me. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright. Say I've lost my mind, that I've lost my way. Now I'm seeing the light, it's a brighter day. They think I'm going crazy. It's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright with me.
This is Jones. You may have heard me on a documentary talking about Earth, or perhaps you've witnessed my masterful impersonation of Darth Vader. I wholeheartedly recommend this radio broadcast, Indie Originals. I honestly don't know much about Chuck Fresh, but what I can tell you, the force is strong with this one.
Past the Perimeter is an award-winning country band from Stonewall, a small town in the Canadian province of Manitoba. The group of four has released 2 EPs, 3 music videos, and has recently been nominated for 10 MCMA awards in 2018. With the release of their latest 7-song EP, Lost With You, the group sold out their CD release show at the Park Theatre in Winnipeg. Their single, She's Gone, charted in the Canadian Country Tracks chart in the top 100 for 5 weeks. The music video has over 100,000 views on YouTube. The band consists of Derek Peters, Lachlan McLean, Evan Taplin, and Devin B.I.Y. I'm not really sure how you say that.
B-Bye.
Check out Heart Against the Wall. The band is Past the Perimeter, and this is IOL.
We spent our time together, driving, laughing, riding, singing. Those summer nights were made for tailgates and wishful thinking. But the morning sun would always come and leave our heads ringing. I picked you up in my old truck, your daddy's head was shaking. You leaned in, I looked at him, and there was no mistaking. I can't lie, June and July still get my heart racing. Just sitting by the water, we jumped in that lake again. The night was getting hotter. I fell for her and she fell for me. I'm so glad I caught her. We laughed, we loved, we had it all. Wind at our backs and standing tall, climbing up the water towers, jumping off a waterfall.
Tuned to the hottest indie music source in the entire world. This is Indie Originals Live, IOL. With your host, legendary DJ and performance artist Chuck Fresh. You too can hear your own original music here on IOL. Visit our website for details, indieoriginals.com, or swing by our Facebook page at Indie Originals.
Greetings, my indie friends. My name is Chuck Fresh from Indie Originals Live, the worldwide dominating indie music podcast that's heard all over the world on 11 radio stations all over the U.S. and growing all the time. Listen, we've been working on this thing over the past couple of weeks. It's kept us pretty busy. For years, we've been asking people who hold indie film contests and film festivals, people who hold indie music competitions, let's do something bigger. Let's do something better. I've been asking this for 10 years now. I said, let's do one big contest that encompasses every indie talent form that there is. They're like, it would never work. We're never going to do that. We don't want to do that. I said, look, last year I said, if you guys don't do this, then I'm going to do it myself. And you really don't want me to do this. It's going to take a bite out of your dinner. And you see where we are right now. I'm doing it myself. We've come up with something called Indie Originals, a global competition for music, for indie artists, for filmmakers, for people who are comedians, for people who create just about anything. If you're an indie artist in just about any field, even literature, book authors, poetry readers, poets, we've got a category for you that will get you some recognition, and you'll be able to call yourself award-winning. We've got a bunch of categories, so everybody who enters has had a really good chance of winning something, especially the first year. This is going to be the first year we will have an award ceremony, which will be a huge gala. We've got some premier event planners on our team already who want to build something that's bigger and better and a little different from the Grammys and the CMAs. If you ever watch those on TV, ours is going to be even cooler than that. I know it's unbelievable, but I've already seen the plans and they're blowing my mind. So this is it. This is Indie Originals. It's the 2019 Independent Artist Competition. All kinds of categories, and you need to look at it yourself. You can get to it at indieoriginals.com or at indieoriginalslive.com. Both of those websites will point you to the competition. Get in there early. We've got some early bird entrance fee specials. There is a small fee to enter because there are administrative costs, as we're figuring out. It does cost a bunch of money to throw one of these. But it's going to be awesome, I promise you. If you've listened to our show, Indie Originals Live, you know how awesome we can put things together. And we want you to be recognized, and we want to inspire people to keep creating, to keep doing what you're doing. Because the only person that can stop you from doing something cool is you. And we want to help you get there. Chuck Fresh from Indie Originals Live. Check it out, indieoriginals.com or indieoriginalslive.com. The 2019 Indie Originals music, film, literature, and there's so many things, and talent competition. Entries are being accepted, if not right now, very, very soon. They're still putting together the infrastructure for this thing, but it's going to be awesome, I promise you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And get yourself in there. If you're an indie, I want to see you in the place. Thank you.
This is your president speaking. Chuck Fresh is a man after my own heart. He's not afraid to grab him by the, you know what I mean. I hated his old show, Local Beat Live, the worst, terrible. But this show, Indie Originals Live, it's tremendous, the best. When I'm not golfing or tweeting from the toilet, my senior staffers will find me holed up in a closet listening to Indie Originals Live. And that Felicia, beautiful, tremendous. Listen to Indie Originals Live every week. Or you may be investigated by the FBI. Just kidding. Fake news. Thank you.